So let's start by taking a comfortable seat. Whether that is Sukhasana, Siddhasana, Virasana. Today's practice is pondering, of course, all that we are, but our emotions. Our emotions are like little messengers, not something to be terrified of, but we can get so accustomed to either having to repress them, shut them down, or we try to control other people's emotions because they are infringing on our space. And if we just look at them again like messengers, when emotions, this is from yoga therapy, are repressed for a long period of time, emotion sits in the second and third, mainly kosha, the layers of our being. So there are 5 layers. The outer being our physical self. The second is our nervous system, our energetic being. And then the third is our mind, where, of course, the ego sits, our sense of self. And also here is where the emotions are born. And when they are repressed or shoved down, ignored for a long period of time, they begin to bleed outward. So the saying, your issues is in your tissues, is where that really originates. We may have I don't feel so good in my stomach, I don't know what's going on, I got a little tension here, heaviness here. And in yoga, we look at specific body parts as holding certain emotions. The liver is anger. Kidneys are fear. Our gallbladder is hate. Bile just pouring out of that one. So some of these we sort of have a relation with in some way. Colon is, I have to look at this one here, anxiety. And lungs are grief. And so you're thinking, well, where's the heart? Joy is the heart, but we do know the feeling of a heavy heart, the sense of the sinking. And the lungs and the heart are intrinsically connected. They sit in the same fascial sheath, and what affects one affects the other. So in our yoga practice, when we move and twist and stretch, we are helping these emotions bubble up to the surface. So that's sometimes, we sometimes get like a burst of anger or sadness because it is being released from our tissues. We may not even know where that emotion came from. It doesn't matter. This is what in psychology is called bottom up, where most cognitive behavioral therapy is top down, talk therapy. But in yoga, we work in the opposite direction, releasing whatever may be stuck in the tissue. So just greet it like a messenger. Rumi says, you invite the visitors in. They might sweep your house clean, but they are visitors nonetheless, not to be feared. So I invite you to take your thumb to your index finger and placing your palms on your knees or thighs in a way that's comfortable. Jhana mudra, Jnana. Jhana means wisdom, there it is. And we are in this position with the palms facing up. We are allowing the universal wisdom to just sort of drift on in. If it feels comfortable, allow your eyes to soften and close. So pacifying the sensory organs. The second layer. Allow yourself to settle in and inquire, how am I feeling right now? Is there anything going on in my environment, inside or out, that is causing emotions to stir? Allowing the emotions without ignoring them or turning away from them or wanting to repress them because they are bad. They're not bad, just messengers. Allow the breath to be soft and deep. When we deepen the breath, the emotions of anxiety or nervousness, fear, they cannot coexist with relaxation. So the diaphragmatic breathing always calls us back to this moment. And inviting ease. Maybe you identified an emotion or memory, something that causes a little bit of frilliness. And then the Kapalati breathing, the sharp exhalation. We'll do 6 rounds, but make it gentle. So watch, we'll take a normal breath in, and as you exhale, and you can take one hand to your lower abdomen. Just blow it out. Let the breath flow in again. And blow it out. So please join me, and up to 6. And then just pause. Notice the breath now. Opening your eyes. Relax the mudra, the hands, stretching them. Let's switch the cross of the legs. And from here, let's do our opening stretches. So we're going to visit with the 5 Tibetans today. 5 Tibetan rituals. Let's side bend. So we want to open the side body. This sequence, we'll just go from side to side, is not really doing much for the side body, nor is it twisting. So we'll add those for a complete practice. Let's do it one more time. And as you come up to center, let's twist. Make it easy, keeping lift and length and twisting. Nothing big, just preparing the body, irrigating the tissue for the practice. And as you come up to center, interlace the fingers. Let's draw the palms towards the sky, reaching up. And you get a little bit more length. Reach, 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 reach. And we'll take the hands down and bring the legs out in front, shaking out the knees. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together. Holding on to the shins or the ankles. Cat and cow. So inhale, arch. And exhale. Rounding mostly in the lower back. Inhale, arch and squeeze the shoulder blades together. down the back. And as you exhale, pull the belly in and up. One more time. Lift, lift, lift. Exhale, belly draws in and up. And we're back at neutral. And we'll take the knees together. Straighten the legs out again. Let's shake them out. And then let's come on to all fours. So you might want to support your knees. And Sally, bringing a blanket under your shins may also feel better. So I know I just called you out. So for knee replacement, I know pressure right on the knees can feel really weird. So if you let the shins hold the knees rather than the knees. Again. You give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if it's a good thing. Fish, thumbs up. I like thumbs up. Cat and cow. Again. Arch. And draw the pelvic floor up now to lower abdomen. So Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Arching. And exhale, pelvic floor up, lower abdomen. Let's do one more time. Rounding, especially the low back. Tuck the toes under, and we're going to travel back to downward facing dog. And take the dog for a little walk. I like that. Wiggle it around a little bit. And just being kind, checking in again. What's going on in the body? What needs a little extra TLC in the practice today? And on an in-breath, we're going to look up. We're going to walk the feet towards the hands, hands towards the feet. And then inhale, press the heels down. Let's come all the way up. Reaching up. Stretch. And hands down. So the mobilizations, and they can stand on their own. It's just a great little way to make it through all the joints. So starting with the legs together, take your hands to the knees. And then we're going to circling around. So this is the ankles. Keep the feet flat on the floor. Of course, this also works the knees, I know. So go around and around, both directions. And be kind. And then from here, standing up, so you can get a little bit wider feet. And we're going to do hip movements, like you're swinging a hula hoop around. So now the legs stay straight. And we'll go both directions here. I was at the DMV yesterday. I got through this whole mobilization and then some while I waited in line. And then I got up to the top or to my space. And there was this, and you'll see it in an email, I'm sure, because I loved it so much. You've seen these signs, in training. Please be patient and kind. I thought, well, don't we all need that on our clothing? Actually, just reminding everybody we're humans in training. So when we goof, there will be some compassion. Now, easy swinging from side to side. So I'm just inviting my spine, a little bit more rotation. We see kids do this a lot. We kind of stopped doing it. And let's go to neutral. And take the hands on top of the shoulders. And we'll draw shoulder circles. Let the elbows touch as they come in front of your face. And then let's go in the other direction. Elbows kiss in front if they can. And we'll let the arms hang. Shake that out. And let's just give the upper traps a little bit of help too. We'll shrug the shoulders up, give them a big squeeze at the top. And then let's count them down from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, down. And now we can take the ear down to the right shoulder and lift up to the left. Back and forth. Only go as far as it's comfortable. And once you come to center, turn the head from side to side, keeping the whole torso still. And back to center, torso still. Looking down, looking up. And this is the movement we will do a lot of in our friendly Tibetans. And then coming back to neutral. So we're going in, and today, because you've all done it before, we're going to do it a little bit, well, not different, but normally I say, well, do about 6. Today I'm going to invite you to do as many as you can. We know the number is 21, and you may not do 21 on all of them. That's okay. So be a good steward of your vessel, a good captain of your vessel. Remember, the first one is spinning. Not counter, it is clockwise. So we're always going to the right. If spinning is not your friend, then the big arm slaps are the suggestion. Now the spinning is, the explanation is that it helps get our chakras spinning in the right direction for inner vitality. I invite you to choose the option that serves you best today. Spinning as fast or as slow as you would like. I find if I keep my awareness in my feet, I seem to go about it without dizziness. And when you are ready, we'll come to a stop. You can do a little hop if you're really spinning. That can help the crystals settle all in. Now standing with the feet maybe slightly wider than hip width apart. Power stance. Like you mean business. Weight is in the heels. Reaching upward. And yes, you can take your hands to the hips. That makes it feel even more determined. This stance, interestingly enough, helps raise the levels of testosterone in the body. So that is the can do. I'm on. And as we age, we begin to sort of not produce as much of this power juice. So yes, we female women, we have testosterone too, just not as much as them guys. All right, next one is the leg lifts. So watch, and then we will have at it. So the variations that we have is, if you have a back day, I recommend either, I'll show both variation, that as you inhale, you lift with bent knees, gentler, or do one leg and then alternate. So explore which one. For the full event, it is straight legs. Inhale, chin to chest, legs to sky. Moving at a pace that is comfortable for you. And when you have reached your number, without greed, without shoulds or coulds, pause, rest. Keeping your numbers just right. So the chin to the chest, legs up, inhaling, lowering down.
Anne,
Yes.
do you stay with the same number as you did of the twirls?
No.
No.
No, you're just gonna do the number that's right for you.
For each separate thing.
Yeah, so we're doing a little bit different today.
Okay.
So but no more than 21. After 21, no more benefit.
Okay, thank you.
And then you'll come onto your knees. And again, supporting the knees or shins with a blanket. But for this one here, camel pose. If available, tuck the toes under. So the neck of the big toe in reflexology, and the yogis knew it too, the monks knew it too, it connects to our physical neck, which of course is the seat of the thyroid. When the thyroid works well, everything works well, more or less, but it needs these hormones to monitor and adjust, especially metabolism and our temperature in our body. Taking the hands either to the lower tush, upper thighs, or I prefer making fists. And then I place my knuckles, the first phalanges, right on the sacrum, the strongest or thickest bone in the body. So like I have my second knuckles or joint on my fingers together. So I create a very broad surface with the elbows drawing towards one another. Starting with the chin towards the chest. And then as you inhale, lift the heart. The head goes back as far as is comfortable. Exhaling, chin back to chest. Inhaling back. And exhaling back home again. Move at a pace that's comfortable for you. So either hands on the lower hips or on knuckles on the sacrum. The variation that you prefer. Opening the entire front line. So hands either stays on the hips or thighs. So it's mainly just a head movement, just a head movement. And once you have reached a number that seemed that was good for you today, take a seat in Varasana or what is comfortable for you and pause. Notice how you feel. What did this do? So of course we have the line from our pineal gland, very top of the head, pituitary gland, third eye, we have the thyroid and the parathyroid right here at the throat. So that is our throat chakra. At the thymus gland, heart chakra. We have solar plexus, kidneys, and the adrenal glands. And then we move down, we have the reproductive system, the girly stuff and the guy stuff. So this is one long line of squirting. And we need all of it to squirt well. We are also working the vagus nerve, the longest nerve of the body when we do the Tibetans. So we help all of these, both from a nervous system point of view, but also from the endocrine, which is a little bit, for lack of a better word, juicier, whereas the nervous system is electrical signals. So we are getting the full on tune up. The next one is the reverse tabletop. So sitting with the legs out in front. And the variations that we can enjoy here is if we have a shoulder or elbow or wrist thingy, we may prefer just to work with the head movement. We're still getting the whole line. A little bit easier variation is bending up the knees, having the hands behind. Elbows draws back as before, and then lifting up here, squeezing at the top, exhaling down. Take a breath in between. And of course, the classical rendition, if you will, is with the legs straight, palms pressing down, and everything stays where we left it. And so do the number that is right for you today. Bent knees, straight legs, move as much as you want to move. If knees are straight, hands by the hips. If knees are bent, hands back. And then blocks under the hands by the hips may feel good. Or just let your tush hang a little bit and give yourself a little spinal traction as you draw the seat back and move from here. Inhaling up, squeeze at the top. Exhale home, take a breath there. This one here is often the one that produces the most squirreliness. So work at a pace. Don't worry about doing maybe 21 in the full. Maybe the knees are bent. It's okay. Moving at a pace that is comfortable for you. And when you have done the number you want to do, take your time. We will sit again in Thunderbolt. Or Sukhasana, always okay. Which has now we are at our last one. Up dog, down dog. And this is where the breath is traditionally switched. Starting in up dog with the knees, with the toes turned under. And then inhaling to downward facing dog with the chin up. Exhaling forward. Now the knees can be down here, that's perfectly fine. And then draw back instead to puppy pose, if that feels better on your body. If that is aggravating for the knee, for shoulders or wrists, there's also sunbird, where the forearm comes down and then inhaling up to the cow pose. Less weight on the hands. So, Jennifer, unmute.
Could you show number 1 again?
Yes, absolutely. Starting in up dog. Inhaling to down dog. That's what's going to feel backwards. Exhaling up dog. So that was 1. Now I'm on number 2. And so it goes. So you draw back on the in-breath, forward on the out-breath. Now, I have had one teacher, exactly one teacher, who did not teach the reverse breath. And when I asked him about it, he said, well, I don't like it that way. So there you go. And again, you'll come to sit upon conclusion. So this is, like I said, an easy little thing to pack if you are out of town and want to give your system a little bit of a tune-up. But like I said at the beginning, nothing lateral here and nothing twisty. So I don't think it's a complete practice. Now the Tibetan monks may argue otherwise, but we're gonna tap into those other modality, and twisting in particular works on that kidney meridian and the liver meridian. It squeezes out what we don't want in there because they sit right here around the third chakra area. So with that said, let's come up into standing and stand centered on your mat. We're going to do warrior 2 and side angle first. So for side angle, we'll use the forearm on the knee to help get that twist. Let's take the hands to the heart, fingertips touching right in front of the heart center. And as you inhale, step or jump. And now turning the right foot in and left leg up. Reaching firmly out through the fingertips, and then bend the right knee. Bend did I say it backwards? Bend the left knee. Well, bend, you're all looking the same, so I'm thinking we all bending the left knee as the right knee. Let your straight leg, your right leg, be the anchor in the pose. Be the anchor in the pose, making sure the knee doesn't overshoot the ankle. So lengthen the stance if it goes past the ankle. And let's straighten, reach. So we'll take a little pit stop here now in triangle pose. Taking the hand to the shin or the knee. Other arm can go to the sky or on the hip or behind. Here, planting the feet firmly, but then lengthen the spine, lengthen. And invite the heart to look towards the sky. So there's a little twist in this pose. And we'll bend the left knee, take the forearm to the inner knee or thigh. And again, arm can stay on the hip or it can go overhead. So the lateral poses, the Three Musketeers. Breathe. And inhale, let's come all the way up at center. Boom. Turning your left foot in, right leg out. Let's take the arms up again. And bend the knee. Bend your right knee and check. Is it over the ankle? Boom. Sneaky. Now your left cheek, the lower one, is turned on. That helps opening the front of the hip. We breathe in, we breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. So in Warrior Two, imagine that you have your right arm pressing on your inner right knee, keeping it in the external rotation. Because we know these poses are part of the osteoporosis prevention sequence. And straightening, reaching out, elongate, utthita, extend, hand to shin, knee, thigh, foot, floor. Spine is long, not rounded. So keep drawing your right sits bone back. Right sits bone back. And breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. And bend the knee. Forearm to the inner knee. Maybe arm overhead. So now we can create that bandha, the bind. Forearm pressing against the inner knee. Knee pressing against the arm. So the legs are working hard. But the mind is relaxed. On vacation. And inhaling all the way out. Let's take the hands back to the hips. Maybe go a smidgen wider, or you may think, you know what, I am wide. I'm very wide. Kick the heels out a little bit and bend the knees. And then inhale, lengthen up through the front spine. Pull the elbows together. So heels are kicked out, a little pigeon-toed. Kicking the heels out a little bit, yes. And then hinge forward. And then take the hands, maybe the fingertips to the floor. The knees can stay bent. If straightening the knees rounds the back, then bend the knees, Lengthening the sternum away from the belly button. So you feel like there's a little bit of a back bend here. Now slide your right hand in center. Right hand at center. Left hand to the hip. Crown of the head lengthens away from the tailbone. And on your next exhalation, begin to invite your left shoulder to draw up. Left shoulder moves up. Maybe a little bit more twisting. Maybe the left arm goes to the sky. Keeping the spine long. And take the left hand down, place it where the right is. Right hand to the hip, lengthen through the crown of the head. So think of your spine neutral, not rounded, but neutral. Taking a breath in, and as you exhale, we begin to invite the right shoulder to draw up and the left shoulder to move down. Complement of the obliques. Legs are firm, and maybe the right arm goes to the sky. And we breathe. One more. And take the arm down. Both hands down. Walk the hands forward. And then pull the hips back. So wide-legged downward facing dog. Hips over heels. Hips over heels. And we'll walk the hands back. And then heel toe, come in a little bit narrower. Take the hands to the hips and then inhale, press into the heels. We travel up. Let's step the feet together. Grounding through the heels. So the legs are firm, strong. Which gets us ready for warrior one and revolve side angle pose. Take the hands to the hips this time. And this one, it's like a 3-step dance if you ask me. Inhaling and exhale, step, or again, jump. Feet wide apart. We will again, we'll turn the right foot in 10 to 15 degrees. Left leg out 90. And now lift your back heel, your right heel, and turn it out even more. So you're standing on a little railroad track. Feet are not on a tightrope. And then let's bend the front knee, the left knee again, and straighten it. Bending and straighten. And we'll hold it bent. And we'll take the arms up. Warrior one. Warrior one. Reaching up. Reaching up. Creating length and space for all that stuff that has to circulate in our body. We'll take the palms together, heart center. And then leaning forward, the back heel can come up and hook your right elbow over the left knee and twist. Right elbow across the left knee and twist. Now here, if it feels safe, you can separate the hand, reach your right arm down, take your left arm up and forward so that you are coming in, you are looking like side angle pose, except you're twisted in the pose. So a lot of balance stuff going on here. You look fantastic. And slowly come back up through warrior one. I know, unwinding. And straighten, spin back to center. And turn the other foot in and out and dance. Kick the heel out a little bit more. We'll do the same little warm up, bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Front leg. And then we'll keep it bent when warrior one, warrior one. Elongating, creating as much space as we can. Keep the back heel in warrior one very grounded. And keep the same sense of groundedness as we now take the hands to the heart center. And we lean forward, begin to take the elbow to the outer knee, and we twist. And we twist. Keep the back leg strong. It's your rudder. Revolve. Jennifer, other elbow. Revolve, side angle. And again, maybe take the top arm up and then forward. That's a lot of squeezing going on in this pose. A lot of squeezing. One more breath. And let's unwind ourselves back to center. Reach up, warrior one more time. Reach up, reach up, reach up. And we'll take the hands down and step back through downward facing dog. Reaching, lengthening. And take the knees down. And bring the legs out in front. How you doing? Whew. I don't know if it's my air conditioner set really high or this is just a really hot sequence. Yes, there's some heat here. So some of that, we're burning the tapas. So I talked about the niyamas in the email, the second limb of the practice. This tapas is fire. Cleanses us. So purity, satya is the first one. We are burning away the gunk called ama for all our systems to work optimally. It's a beautiful thing. Now a little bit more twisting. Let's take our right knee in. Take the right knee in. And here, actually, let's sit up in a blanket or towels. Get a little bit of height under the seat. And then take your right elbow to the inside of your right knee. So far, so good. We're going to create that same counter pressure from elbow to knee. Let's take the left arm up, reaching up, and take it behind. So Merchasana 1, Merchasana 1. Inhale, lifting up. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to the left. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, deepen the twist. One more breath. And slowly release back. Let's take the right leg out. Left knee draws in. Left elbow to the inside. Right arm, see, I swung it right back. Well, we're going to take it up. We're going to create the lift, 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 lift. And then take it back. Reaching up through the crown of the head. We're keeping the sits bone both well anchored. Lift, 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 and then exhale, deepen. And we lift again, and we exhale. Use the muscles, both right around the spine. See a little rotatories, like little rubber bands, connecting from one vertebrae on one side and crisscrosses down to the other, to the vertebrae below on the other side. So think of these little rubber bands pulling you in, and then we got the big guns, the obliques, also drawing us in. And as you exhale, let's come back to center. Take the left leg out. Now, if you have a strap nearby, you might use it. A towel is handy too, or belt, for the bind in this pose. So let me show you. We'll take the right leg in again. So we started here. That went really well. But for the bind, we're going to lean forward, swim the arm out, and then connect. Using your bound arm is going to grab. Don't grab with the other one. And then from here, we sit back up into the twist. So we can hold a strap back here as well. Or we can repeat the one that we just did. because that may just feel better on shoulders and back and everything else. So now we are really squeezing some stuff. Breathing, 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 twisting, twisting, twisting. And we exhale back to center. And then bowing forward, bowing to your left leg. So we squeezed it out, and now we are saying, Amma, you're out of here. Out of here. We inhale back up, and we release. Slowly. Remember, the safest way to come out of a pose is the way you went into it. Other side. Whew. We start it. Put the arm down, sliding down. Get my knee as high as I can, and turn the palm out. Swim the arm around to the back. I'm going to reach my other arm back. Remember, the wrapped arm is going to grab, not be grabbed, because that hand is that shoulder. Can you see me, Sally? Are you looking? Swimming, reaching. So the arm that wraps around the leg is in a little bit more precarious situation. So here, sitting up and twist. Twist. I should get as tall as I can. Amma, gunk that clogs up the pipes. Whether that's secretions or electrical signals, we are opening up all of these channels. You're doing the right thing, Meg. Take care of your shoulders, no strain. Thank you. And coming back to center, and then bow down over the right leg, bow down over the right leg. And let's sit all the way up. Release the arms. Whew. Now move the blanket out of the way. And we're going to just have a teeny little pit stop through Navasana boat pose. So we'll start with the knees bent. Make sure you have enough room behind you to come down for, because next stop right around the corner, Shavasana. So we're starting in boat pose. Draw the abdomen in and up, in and up. If it's available, add the oars, adding oars. And then we begin to take the spine down, maybe the legs out for half boat pose, half boat pose. And we just hold that for breath, for just another moment. And then we're going to let it all go. Let it all go. Allow your feet to separate slightly and relax your body in a comfortable way. And investigate if you would like support under your head or legs or anywhere else. Gently turn the head from side to side. Let it come to rest in the middle. Breathing in and breathing out. through the asana practice, you have created the very, very best of conditions for irrigation, fresh everything. We have squeezed out what doesn't serve us. The blockages. I invite you to gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggling fingers and toes. And bend out your knees. Keep your palms where they are. Now in your right palm, I invite you to hold an emotion, that shadow emotion that sort of pops up. Whether that's a sense of guilt or shame or sadness or anxiety. It can be a memory that is just leaving a shadow. So I wouldn't go for something very big right now, but there's a demonstration for you, something that just leaves a little bit of residue on your inner mirror. And your left palm, invite the opposite emotion, the exact opposite emotion. Linger there. Feel this emotion. Taste it. See it. Relive it. We go back to the right hand, to the first emotion. Allow room for this one too. Not repressing, not hiding. Just allow it to be there without judgment. We turn to the left again. The opposite, exact opposite emotion. And now bring the palms together. Let these two emotions coincide. There's room for both. Rubbing your hands together. And place your hands on your heart center. As you breathe in and out, feeling the expansion of your heart center, holding both emotions. Neither is right, neither is wrong. Gently, just little teeny baby knocks with the knees. Rolling over onto one side. Letting your hands release from the heart space. Pause on your side. And using your arms and hands to press up. And take a comfortable seated position. We'll bring our palms together again. Our right hand is our action hand, yang. The left hand is yin, softness and inward. So in this way that we utilize this energy from this emotional meditation, it's a very powerful meditation, so we don't get stuck on one, but we get to play the entire register and heal. Let's close with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. We'll bow our head down towards our heart space. This amazing organ that has the power to heal itself and everything else. Let's take the gaze back up. Thank you and namaste. And I will stop the recording and invite you to